Hey, great morning, everybody. Dr. Sean J. Harris here, Generational Wealth Academy. Great Thursday morning to everybody. Saturday number 5. And coming to you from Panama City, Panama. Great morning this morning. And I wanted to talk to you about the 5 changes or the 5 decisions I made that made life easier for me today. So a lot of times we look at successes and we often wonder, well, how did that person get to point B? What was the process between point A and getting to point B, or from point A to point K? What are those steps in between that actually help the person get success? So oftentimes we don't understand, we don't hear about those stories. So it often appears that people have become overnight successes. But some of the things I want to talk about 5. There's so many different decisions I've made. And one thing I always want to talk about is that everyone in life is where they are based on a series of decisions. It's not just one big decision that we made that put us where we are, or one bad decision that put us where we are. It's typically a series of repeated decisions that get us where we are, whether good or bad. So if you're in a financial place of satisfaction, it's because you typically make good financial decisions. But at the same time, if you're in a position where you're not where you want to be financially, it's usually indicative that we've made a series of bad decisions. Now, can one big giant decision put you in a good position or a bad position? Yeah, it can. But typically it's a series. So the first decision that I made that positioned me to be where I am in life today is the decision to become an entrepreneur. Many of you guys and girls have gotten the same talk that I've got, which is go to school, get good grades, go get a good education, and get a good job and work happily ever after. We also were given options typically when we're like 16, 17 years old. I know most guys get these choices, but a lot of times the girls get the same decisions as well, where it's either we have to go to college, we have to get a job, or we have to go to the military. I made a decision to go to the military because at that particular time when I got out of high school, I didn't want to continue going to school. I didn't want to go to college. I'm the type of person, I don't like being told what to do, so I didn't want to go get a job. So I went to the Air Force. And needless to say, they still told me what to do a little bit. But it gave me the foundational setting for responsibility and discipline, which helped me in my entrepreneurial pursuits. So one of the key things that I wanted to focus on there with my entrepreneurship, it gave me the autonomy to be able to call my own shots and to have personal freedom. So these are the things that were important to me, which was to be able to wake up when I wanted to, do what I wanted to, go wherever I wanted to, and I was able to accomplish that through entrepreneurship. So again, entrepreneurship gave me the ability to have economic freedoms and economic empowerment. So economic power is when we sign not only the back of our check, but also the front of the check as well. So I position myself to be able to sign both the front and the back and dictate my time and money. So that was the first thing that I did. The second decision that I made that was paramount to where I am success is marriage. And not just marriage, but marriage to the right person. Many times you guys hear me talk about marriage as being a cheat code to wealth, and it truly is. I did a talk yesterday where I was talking about how being single in and of itself is a business. It's an industry. Because think about it. You have 2 people that could collaborate together in a marriage and create a family. That's one household. But when we are in a single position, now that's 2 households. There's 2 rents. There's 2 mortgages. There's 2 sets of furnitures. There's 2 sets of bills. And it's like diametrically opposed to the accomplishment of a unified family unit being able to maximize the money. So think about it. If we didn't have 2 different incomes in 2 different locations, now we can allocate one of those additional funds or sources of income or revenue into investment strategies. You can deploy that capital in different areas and really maximize and grow your wealth exponentially. So that's why I say being single is an industry. Third decision I made was to be able to pull back on good things to get great things. What do I mean by that? There's been so many times where a situation was a good deal for me, but by holding back a little bit, holding off, or just taking a different route, it brought greatness. Many of you guys hear me talk about one of our companies, which was our security company. That company, we made over $250,000 the very first year running that business. But over the period of time, I realized that it was taking a little bit of time, even though it was system driven. But when I pulled back some of that time, it actually propelled me forward with time back to me. So my return on investment of my time was exponential, not just linear. I was able to accumulate 3 times as much time back to myself by slowing down to speed up. And that made all the difference in the development of that company. The fourth thing is building proper relationships. Relational capital is far more valuable than cash capital. We've always been groomed to believe we got to make money, we got to do this to increase our revenue, increase capital and cash flow. But in order to do those, it's much easier. It goes back to what I just talked about, where I said pull back to go further. A lot of times, relational capital will propel you further than what financial capital can do. And it will actually bring on the financial capital by just having the proper relationships. Relationships have gotten me into places, got me into rooms, and got me resources and business deals way further than finances could, way further than education could. See, a lot of times relationship can get you places that a college degree can't get you. And that's what people have to really understand. So it's just like your regular personal account. You can't have an account with insufficient funds and think that you're going to accumulate wealth. Well, the same thing with wealth in relationships. You have to make continuous deposits so that you don't be in a position where you're non-sufficient funds. And the fifth thing I want to talk about is we taught our kids financial literacy and financial education. We taught them business acumen. We taught them how to build their own businesses. It's one thing for us to be entrepreneurs, but in order to build sustainable wealth, legacy wealth, generational wealth, you have to be able to teach the next generation. You have to properly groom them. You have to properly position them based on the things that we've done. The decision that we've made before the kids were even born has positioned them to be multi-millionaires. It has positioned my unborn grandchildren to be multi-millionaires. So those are the 5 things that we have done to position us to have the fair, unfair advantage. We give our kids the fair, unfair advantage. We never want to just position them at the starting line with everyone else. They're positioned so much further in the race because of the decisions that Tara and I have made to position them to be able to have a much sustainable race, a more rewarding race. So again, the decisions were becoming an entrepreneur, becoming married, entering into a proper marriage with a proper person, be able to pull back to go farther, to be able to build relational capital, and to be able to teach our kids financial literacy and business acumen. So those are just 5 things that we've done out of the many that has launched us and propelled us forward financially the way we have. So if you're in a position where you want to start learning, what can I do to position my family for financial freedom, for financial legacy, and how to transfer wealth, because in this generation, a lot of times people start building and accumulating wealth, but they don't know how to transfer it properly. So if you're in a position where you want to really scale up your finances and put together a blueprint, let's connect. You can reach me at growfamilylegacy.com. And I'd love to jump on a call with you and have a strategy call and see if it would be a good fit for you and I to work together in business. All right, guys, I'm Dr. Sean J. Harris. Make impact, make money while you're doing it.